back to the video tutorial series of the operating system. I am your instructor Varsha Tak. Let's start our lecture series. So topics to be covered in today's lecture, that is protection, demand paging, then we will see what is the page fault, then we will see how we are able to handle the page fault in the operating system, and then we will see the segmentation. Okay, then let's start our today's lecture. So first of all, what is protection? Okay, so what is protection? Memory protection in a page environment is accomplished by the protection bits associated with each frame. In this memory protection, to each and every frame, we associate one bit that will define the page is valid or invalid. Okay, so normally these bits are kept in the page table. Okay, one bit can be defined a page to be read or read only. Every reference to memory goes through the page table to find the correct frame number. Okay, so it will find the reference for the correct frame number. At the same time that physical address is being computed, the protection bits can be checked to verify that no worries are being to meet a read only page. So whenever page is going to be referred and whenever page will be used in the operating used in the processing, at that time the physical address will be calculated for that particular page. An attempt to write a read-only page cause a hardware trap to the operating system or the protection violation. Okay, so this attempt to will lead to the violation. Now we can easily expand this approach to provide a final level of protections. How we are able to define this protection? So one additional bit is generally attached to each and every entry of the page table. So in page table, we will add one column which will define whether that particular page is valid or invalid. Okay, so this one additional bit is generally attached to each entry, that is known as the valid bit or invalid bit. When this bit is set to valid, the associated page in the process logical address space and is thus a legal bit. Okay, so when this bit is set to valid, that means a small v is there for that particular page. So if this is valid, that means what? The process logical address space and it's thus a legal bit. That means you can access that particular page, but if it is set to invalid, you cannot do the reference for that particular page because that page is right now not in the memory. We have to load it from the storage. Okay, so same is written over here. When the bit is set to invalid, the page is not in the process logical address space. Illegal addresses are trapped by the user, the valid or invalid bit. Now the operating system sets this bit for each page to allow or disallow access to the page. Okay, the operating system can use the same functionality for allow and disallow for the page. For example, this page will not be allowed for any other user for the calculation. So at that time, the operating system can set that particular bit to the invalid. So no any outer side process can access that particular page. So for the same purpose also operating system can use such type of valid and invalid mechanism. Now here in this figure, it is showing that these are the pages. Okay, and here there is for this particular process there is a page table. Okay, and this last table that is showing which page are there in the memory. Okay, so here page number 0 to page number 5 is that. Now here the page table is for the 7 page, so page number 0 to 5 is that, so 6 and 7 is not there, so that's why we have said that bit through I that means invalid. Now for this particular frame, it is set to the valid, that means that frames are available right now in the memory. Okay, so here this pages are there in the memory, so here you can see the 0 to 5 pages are there in the memory. Okay, so for that particular pages in the page table, we have set this reference bit as a valid. Okay, so that means that pages are right now available in the memory area and we can access it. Now the page number 6 and 7 are there that are not in the memory area, so that bit is set as invalid. Okay, so like this way we can set valid or invalid bit in the page table when the page is not there in the memory. Now, next is a demand paging. What is demand paging? According to the concept of the virtual memory, in order to execute some processes, only a part of the process need to be present in the main memory, which means that only a few pages will only be present in the main memory at a time. Okay, so what is it saying? That every time it is not necessary that you have to load each and every page in the memory area. Whatever the pages is needed, just load that particular page in the memory area. Okay, so if no use is there for each and every page, why we are using this extra memory in the memory area? Okay, so we just have to load that particular page that is necessary for the execution. Okay, and whenever it needs come, we have to load that particular page from the storage. Okay, however, deciding which page needs to be kept in the main memory and which page is need to be kept in the secondary memory, that is very difficult task. Okay, so because we cannot say in advanced process will require a particular page in a particular time. Okay, so that assumptions we can't make. Okay, so that is a very difficult task. So which page will be required in the memory area when the process is going to be executed. Okay, so for that, the new concept to solve this problem, there is a concept called the demand paging. Okay, our problem is what? Just load that particular page that is necessary for the execution. But the difficulty is what? We cannot assume that which page will be required. So what is the solution for that? Therefore, to overcome this problem, there is a concept called the demand paging. Okay, so demand paging is introduced. If this it suggests keeping all the pages of the frames in the secondary memory until they are required. Okay, so in other words, it says that do not load any pages in the memory until it is required. So our problem is solved over here. When the process is there in the execution, process wants that particular pages. So at that time only load that pages. Otherwise, don't load that page. So that is the concept of demand paging. Got it? Okay, so whenever any page is referred for the first time in the main memory, then the page will be found in the secondary memory. So when the first time we are going to load any particular page, at that time that page will be there in the secondary memory and we have to load that page from secondary memory to the main memory. Okay, so after that it may or may not be present in the main memory depending upon the page replacement. So that we will see later on. Now here you can see this figure shows the concept of the demand paging. Okay, for example, process A and process B are there in the main memory. They are in the execution state. Now, suppose there is a no space in memory. Okay, suppose there is a no space in memory. What will happen? Some pages will be swapped out and some pages will be swapped in. Again, in last lecture also we have seen this concept of the swap out and swap in. Okay, so when there is a no space in the memory area, at that time page should be swapped out, that is right now not needed in the memory area. So that pages will be swapped out. So here you can see the program A pages will be swapped out and it will be stored in the memory. Okay, and after that the newly pages that is needed right now, that will be swapped in the memory area. Okay, so this is what the transport of pages memory to for the contiguous disk space. Now what is a page fault? Okay, so page fault, that means what? Whatever the page that we are needed that is not available in the memory area, so that is what the page fault. Okay, so and whenever we want any page and that page is not present, at that time we can say there is a page fault. This is the basic concept. Okay, so if the referred page is not present in the main memory, then there will be a miss and the concept is called the page miss or page fault. Okay, just read it again. If the referred page is not present in the main memory, then there will be a miss. That means a page miss. That means page is not present. Okay, so will be a miss and concept is called page miss or page fault. Got it? Okay, so the CPU has to access the missed page from the secondary memory. If the number of page fault is very high, then the effective access time of the system will become very high. Okay, so if page fault is very high, then effective time of access of the system is also very high. Okay, that we will see in the different types of algorithm in later on. Okay, so page table when some pages are not in the memory. So here you can see this is the logical memory for the one process, and here you can see some of the pages are present in the memory, that is A, C and F. Now remaining pages are not present in the memory. So when there is a need of this particular page, so at that time the page fault will occur. For example, here A, C and F is there, but B is not there. Now suppose the need of page B is there for the executions of the program. So at that time this page B is not present in the memory area. So that means what? Page fault occur. So if the page fault occur, that page will be loaded from the disk storage to this particular memory area. Okay, so like this way we are going to handle the page fault. Okay, so this is the mechanism to handle the page fault. For example, here this page M is not present in the memory at the time when there is a program in the execution. So what will happen? For example, it bit is set to the invalid. Now all of you aware about the invalid and valid bit. Okay, so it bit is set to the I that means what? Invalid. Okay, so the first step is what? It will reference to that particular page in the page table. If it bit is set as an invalid, that means a page trap or page fault or page miss is there. Okay, so here page miss is there. So here the trap will be goes to the operating system. That means there is a one type of error. That means the page is not there in the memory area. So it will known to the operating system. Now operating system will what operating system will do? Operating system will load that particular pages from the disk storage. Okay, so page is on the backing storage that operating system will find out, and that page will be loaded into the memory area. Okay, so that step number 4, it will bring the that particular page, missing page in the memory area. Now again we have to reset the page table. Why? Because now it is set to be valid, because the page is now is there in the memory area. So this invalid bit set to be valid. Okay, so reset the page number, reset the page table, that is the step number 5, and after that restart the instruction again. So this is the process. When the page fault occur, what will happen? Got it? So first is what? It will check to the page table. If it's set to the invalid, it will generate a trap to the operating system. Operating system will check where the page is located, and it will bring that particular page from this disk storage to the memory. And after that, the page table will be reset and the instructions will be restarted. So this is the steps when any page fault occur. So at that time this step will be executed to bring the page from the secondary storage. And here the step is written in detail. First is what? We check an internal table usually kept with the process control block for this process to determine whether the reference was a valid or invalid memory access. That is the step number 1. In step number 2, if a reference is invalid, we terminate the process. If it was valid but we have not yet brought in that page, we now page it in. That means we are trying to do the page in. We find the free frame. Okay, so by taking one from the free frame list, for example, that we have seen in the last slide, or we can replace the page. Okay, and 4th step is what? We schedule a disk operations to read and desired page into newly allocated frame. And 5th step that we have seen, the page table should be reset. And 6th is what? We have to restart the instruction. Okay, now what is thrashing? Okay, so if the number of page fault is equal to the number of referred page, or the number of the page faults are so high so that CPU remains busy, okay, in just reading the pages from the secondary memory, and the effective access time will be the time that is taken by the CPU to read the word from the secondary memory, and it will be so high. So this concept is called stressing. What is the meaning of this? In short, we can say the program causing a page fault every few instructions, that is called thrashing. Okay, every time whenever we want any page, that page is not present in the memory. So every time what operating system have to do? Operating system have to bring the page from the secondary storage. Okay, so that is what? Thrashing. Okay, for example, 5 frame is there for the execution. Okay, so program is divided in the 5 frame. Every time we require 1 frame, and each frame is not present in that particular memory area. So every time for the program execution, that a page fault will occur. So that is known as thrashing. Got it? Okay, now what is segmentation? Segmentation method works almost similarly to the paging. Only difference between the two is that segments are of the variable length, whereas in the paging method, pages are always fixed size. Now what is the difference between paging and segmentation? Okay, in paging, just we have the same size of block, whereas in segmentation, we have the variable size of blocks. Okay, each segment has a name and length. The address specify both the segment name and the offset within the segment. Okay, so there's just two number is there, that one is specify the segment and another is specify the offset number that is within that segment. The programmer therefore specifies each address by two quantities. One is a segment name and another is a offset. Okay, so for simplicity implementation, segments are numbered and are referred to by the segment number rather than by the segment name. And here you can see this is a syntax, that is a segment number and offset. So using this address, the segments will be stored. Now here you can see this is the example of the segments. Here your entire program will not be divided into the fixed size allocations part, but your entire program is divided into segments. Okay, for example, one is a main program, another is a symbol table, another is a stack, okay, another is a subroutine, another is a sqrt. So this all are the different types of segments according to the different requirements. Okay, and each and every segments have their own logical address. Okay, so which type of segments is that? So here you can see, for example, a C compiler might create the separate segments for the code, for the global variables, for the heap, for the memory is allocated, for the stacks, or for the standard C library. So these are the different segments when the program is done in the executions. Okay, so such type of segments will be created when we are following this segmentation. Okay, so there are two types of information stored in the segment table, that is the limit and base. All of you know about this limit and base because we have already discussed what is limit and base. Okay, so the limit is the length of the size of the segment, and base is what? Base is the base address of the segment. Base address, that means the starting address from where that segment is going to be start. That is known as the base address, and how long this instructions will be stored in that particular part, that is the limit. Okay, so here you can see these are the different segments, that is the logical addresses for different segments, and that will be stored in the memory area. And here it is a segment table. So here in the segment table you can see the segment 0, that base address is a 500. So here in this figure you can see the segment 0 is started from the 500, but it ends at the 1100. Okay, so total limit is what? The 600. 1100 minus 500, you will get the 600. So that will be the total limit for the segment 0. Again, for the segments ones, you can see it is started from the 2500. Okay, so 2500 from the 2500 the segment 1 is started, and it limit is 800 because it ends at the 3300. So you will, if you will minus the 2500 from the 3300, you will get the 800 answer. Okay, so its total limit is what? The 800. Same way for all the segments, the limit and the base address is there. Okay, so in this video we have learned about the protection, that means we have learned about valid and invalid bit. Then we have learned what is the demand paging, what is the problem when the page is not there in the execution. So at that time, just to be reload that particular page, that is necessary for the execution. Page fault, if the page is not there in the memory, then it is what? A page fault. Then how we are able to handling the page fault, and at last we have seen the segmentation. Okay, so thank you for watching. This is all about this lecture. Remaining interesting topic we will cover in the next lecture. Thank you.